Hello students, this is the fourth part of Unit 2 Data Link Layer and Media Access of the subject Computer Networks, myself and C. John J. Here we are going to see about the media access control, that is the protocols we are using in multi-point or broadcast link. When nodes of stations are connected and use a common link called a multi-point link or broadcast link, we need a multiple access protocol to coordinate access to the link. All of these protocols belong to a sublayer in the data link layer called media access control. Here the multiple access protocols is divided into random access protocol, controlled access protocol and channelization protocols. First we see about the random access protocols. In random access or contention methods, no station is superior to another station and none is assigned control over another. At each instance, a station that has data to send uses a procedure defined by the protocol to make a decision on whether or not to send. This decision depends on the state of medium, that is ideal or busy. Two features are given here. First one is there is no scheduled time for a station to transmit. Transmission is random among the stations. That is why these methods are called random access. Second, no rules specify which station should send next. Stations compete with one another to access the medium. That is why these methods are also called contention methods. Next is collision. If more than one station tries to send, there is an access conflict called collision and the frames will be either destroyed or modified. The random access method have evolved from a very interesting protocol known as Aloha, which used a very simple procedure called multiple access. The method was improved with the addition of procedures that forces the station to sense the medium before transmitting. This was called carrier sense multiple access, that is CSMA. This method later evolved into two parallel methods, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection, that is CSMA CD, which tells the station what to do when a collision is detected, and a carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance, that is CSMA CA, which tries to avoid the collision. This is the representation of Aloha. Aloha is also called pure Aloha. So in the first time slot, station 1 is having one packet frame of data, so no other station is transmitting at the time slot 1, so no collision will occur. In this time slot 2, all the stations, station 1, 2, 3 and 4 having packets, so these packets will collide and will be destroyed. And in slot 3, only half of the packet of station 2 was there. The remaining half is in the slot 4, and slot 4 is also having another packet from station 4, so there is a possibility of collision. And in time slot 5, station 3 alone having one packet, so no collision will occur there. Here for pure Aloha, the vulnerable time is 2 is into TFR. So here is a representation of flowchart. For first we are setting the number of atoms as k. If k is equal to 0, when k is equal to 0, we are sending the frame. Then we are waiting 2 into TFR, TP. If the transmission is successful and the acknowledgement is received, we can come out of the loop. If the transmission is not successful, means again we are proceeding to k is equal to k plus 1, and again we are sending the packet. Again if we are receiving the positive acknowledgement, we can come out, otherwise again we have to retransmit it till k greater than k max. This is the representation of slotted Aloha. Here the vulnerable time is equal to TFR. Here the number of time slots will be increased, that is size of time slots will be decreased and number of slots will be increased. So as the number of time slots are increased, the number of packets in each time slot will be decreased. So there is a possibility of reducing the collision. So here in slot 1, only station 1 is having the packet, no chance of collision. And in slot 2, station 2 and station 3 having packets, there is a chances of collision. Then slot 3 also the possibility of collision. In slot 4 only one packet, no collision will occur. And slot 5 and slot 6 also only one packets, so no chances of collision. Next is carrier sense multiple access CSMA. It requires that each station first listen to the medium before sending. That is, station has to listen to the transmission medium whether it is busy or idle. If it is idle, means the station can send the packet. Otherwise, it has to wait, and when the transmission medium becomes idle, it can transmit the packet. CSMA is based on the principle sense before transmit or listen before talk. Next, we see about the vulnerable time. The vulnerable time for CSMA is TP. That is the time needed for a signal to propagate from one end of the medium to the other. When a station sends a frame and tries to send a frame during this time, a collision will result. But if the first bit of the frame reaches the end of the medium, every station will already have heard the bit and will refrain from sending. Next, we see about the persistent methods. One persistent method, non-persistent method, and p-persistent methods are there. First, we see about one persistent method. In this method, after the station finds the line idle, it sends the frame immediately with probability 1. This method has the highest chance of collision because 2 or more stations may find the line idle and send their frames immediately. Next, we see about non-persistent. In the non-persistent method, each station that has a frame to send senses the line. If the line is idle, it sends immediately. If the line is not idle, it waits a random amount of time and then senses the line again. Next is the p-persistent method. It is used if the channel has time slots with slot duration equal or greater than the maximum propagation time. So this is the pictorial representation of one persistent, non-persistent, and p-persistent methods. Next is the carrier sense multiple access with collision detection, that is CSMA-CD. It is used to handle the collision. In this method, a station monitors the medium after it sends a frame to see if the transmission was successful. If so, the station is finished. If there is a collision, the frame is sent again. Next is the carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance, that is CSMA-CA. There are 3 strategies. First one is the interframe space. First, the collisions are avoided by deferring transmission even if the channel is found idle. When an idle channel is found, the station does not send immediately. It waits for a period of time called the interframe space or IFS. Next is the contention window. Is the amount of time divided into slots. A station that is ready to send chooses a random number of slots as its wait time. Next, acknowledgement. The data may be corrected during the transmission. The positive acknowledgement and the timeout timer can help guarantee that the receiver has received the frame. Next is the controlled access method. Here the first method is the reservation. The reservation method, a station needs to make a reservation before sending data. Time is divided into intervals. In each interval, a reservation frame precedes the data frames sent in that interval. If there are n stations in the system, there are exactly n reservation mini slots in the reservation frame. Each mini slot belongs to a station. When a station needs to send a data frame, it makes a reservation in its own mini slot. Next method is the polling. Polling works with topologies in which one device is designated as a primary station and the other device as a secondary station. So here two types of messages are there. First one is the select and next is the poll operation. Select operation is performed when primary station wants to send a message to secondary station. So if here in this figure primary station wants to communicate with B, so it sends a select message to B. As a response, it sends an acknowledgement. Primary station is sending data to B. As a response, it is giving the acknowledgement back. If primary station wants to receive data from secondary station, it has to use the poll operation. So first here in this figure, primary station wants to get the data from A, so it sends the poll message, and A is not willing to send the data, so it sends a negative acknowledgement. After that, it is sending poll operation to B. The B is sending the data to A, primary station. Primary station as a response sending the acknowledgement to B. Next is the token passing method. In this method, the station in a network are organized as in a logical ring. For each station, there is a predecessor and successor. The current station is the one that is accessing the channel now. The right to this access has been passed from the predecessor to the current station. The right will be passed to the successor when the current station has no more data to send. In this method, a special packet called a token circulates through the ring. The possession of the token gives the station right to access the channel and send its data. When a station has some data to send, it waits until it receives the token from its predecessor. It then holds the token and sends the data. When the station has no more data to send, it releases the token, passing it to the next logical station in the ring. The station cannot send data until it receives the token again in the next round. In this process, when the station receives the token and has no data to send, it just passes the data to next station. Next method is the channelization. It's a multiple access method in which the available bandwidth of a link is shared in time, frequency, or through code among different stations. Three methods are there. First one, frequency division multiple access, FDMA. The available bandwidth is divided into frequency band. Each station is allocated a band to send its data. Each band is reserved for a specific station and it belongs to the station all the time. Each station also uses a bandpass filter to confine the transmitter frequencies. To prevent station interferences, the allocated bands are separated from one another by small guard bands. Next is time division multiple access, TDMA. Here, the stations share the bandwidth of the channel in time. Each station is allocated a time slot during which it can send data. Each station transmits its data in its assigned time slot. Next is code division multiple access, CDMA. CDMA is based on coding theory. Each station is assigned a code which is a sequence of numbers called chips. So next, the question is explain media access control. The answer covers the full presentation slides. Okay, thank you.